What we have here is controlled chaos. What's happening, guys? Hope your day's going well. Today we're going to review Madhouse Innovations Chaotic Rage. There she is. We're going to go over the ingredients so you know what the hell you're putting in your body, and we'll go over the effects on this bad boy. If you're new to the channel, you like stuff like that, hit the subscribe button. Love to have you along for the ride. So we're going to jump right into this Madhouse Chaotic Rage. First, we'll get the flavor out of the way. We have a fruit punch flavor. It's good. You're going to be fine with the flavor. It's really, really good. Looking at the label here, they have the scratch and sniff right there with an arrow. I was trying to figure out, is that just a joke? Because I couldn't smell anything. They're screwing with us there. And then we have, on the other side here, we have Welcome to the Freak Show. Look at that. It's a pretty cool label. I like it. Welcome to the Freak Show. Insane pumps, out of this world focus, and unreal energy. So not bad. So let's jump into the label, into the goodies here. First, we're going to get the scooper out of the way. One scoop's supposed to be 11.6 grams at 30 servings. That's not bad for a stem junkie prey. Just so you know, a flat level scoop's way off. You need a scale on this, but for those that don't have scales, I'm sure most people have food scales, but if you don't have a scale, you need to get something like this, something like that, to get that 11.6 grams. So if you're taking a flat level scoop like this, you're off, and you're probably not getting the effects that I'm going to describe as much, and some of the other reviewers out there. So get the full amount in here. Right on the top of the label, we have thiamine, which is vitamin B1 at 1 milligram. This helps with energy production by the breakdown of carbohydrates. Then we have niacin at 20 milligrams. This is going to help with NAD production, which is going to help with DNA and RNA repair, and also helps with the production, stimulates the production of dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. Then we have vitamin B12 at 10 micrograms. This keeps homocysteine levels in the brain correct, so for health. This also is a cofactor to GABA, dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. And that also helps with the breakdown of carbohydrates and fats for energy. So jumping right down into the good stuff here, we have L-citrulline malate, 5 grams. It's going to be, it's going to be less, 3.5 grams of L-citrulline. The rest is going to be the malic acid. L-citrulline is going to help with vasodilation for blood flow, which is going to increase oxygen and nutrients to the muscles and to the cells, which is going to help with providing some ATP production. And then we have malic acid here. That is going to help with ATP production, because in the Krebs cycle, it helps with the conversion of ADP to ATP for more energy. Then we have beta-alanine at 3.5 grams, a little bit over the efficacious dose. This is for more reps and more sets in the gym. This gives you the itching, the scratching, the tingling. This buffers hydrogen in the muscle, so you can push out more reps. It's a metabolite that could weaken your contractional capability. Then we have a caffeine matrix, which is caffeine anhydrous, which is the mid-range hitter, 30 to 60 minutes in. Dicaffeine malate, the long hitter. And then caffeine citrate, the short, quick hitter at 400 milligrams. I don't know if that's what it's yielding or not, so take it with a grain of salt. I didn't see anywhere on here how much is the yielding amount of caffeine. But if that's not the yielding amount, just so you know, you're probably getting about 375 total as far as yielding. Then that's an adenosine blocker. So what that does, it blocks adenosine. It binds to adenosine receptors. The adenosine receptors are A1 and A2A. There's 4 adenosine receptors, and these have to do with the brain and the heart. And it binds to those receptors, blocking adenosine from attaching to the receptor, which if it does, it could make you tired. It also increases acetylcholine production in the brain, dopamine, and norepinephrine. It also increases the production of brain-derived neurotropic factor in the brain, which is a protein that binds to nerve cells. And when it binds to nerve cells, it increases the signaling capability between the neurons. So it's also for health too. So it helps with the growth and the protection of the brain cells as well. Then we have L-tyrosine at 350 milligrams. This is a dopamine. This transfers over into L-dopa, then to dopamine, and then whatever's left over transfers over to norepinephrine, and then norepinephrine is broken down with an enzyme that breaks it down to epinephrine, and this increases those catecholamines for cognitive function, focus. It's a small amount, but I'll let you guys know how this hit. I really like this. This is controlled chaos right here. Then we have DMHA at 250 milligrams. DMHA increases the monoamines, which is dopamine and norepinephrine, catecholamines, and prevents their reuptake by blocking the presympathetic nerve and the post-sympathetic nerve. So that's where these catecholamines are reabsorbed, so it blocks those. It also stops the breaking down of dopamine, noradrenaline, and epinephrine because it is a monoamine oxidase inhibitor as well. At least that's what it's kind of hypothesized that it does. And what this is going to do is it's going to give you cognitive function, focus. This has a central nervous system hit as well. So it's going to give you energy on top of any other energy ingredient that's in here, especially the caffeine. Then we have Ariadrenesis at 125 milligrams, not a bad dose. No, we have choline citrate, choline bitartrate at 200 milligrams. And this is a choline source that is an energy source before a brain source. So what I noticed with choline bitartrate is, for one thing, it increases the cholinergic functions in the central nervous system, and this increases speed, precision, and accuracy. But it tends to hit and couple well in the Stem Junkie Pre with some physical type energy behind it before it does anything for the brain. But it does eventually cross the blood-brain barrier because it increases acetylcholine and will help with cognitive function and focus. Then we have Ariadrenesis at 125 milligrams. This is a PEA backbone. So like phenethylamine, it will increase dopamine, noradrenaline, and epinephrine by attaching to the TAR1 and TAR2 receptors. And what that does is it enhances the production or increases the production of dopamine, noradrenaline, and adrenaline or epinephrine, whatever you want to call it. So those that don't know, noradrenaline is the same thing as norepinephrine, and adrenaline is the same thing as epinephrine. So just in case I say different words there. And this is going to be hard to cleave off. So monoamine oxidase in the brain is trying to cleave these off of the TAR1, TAR2 receptors because it's trying to normalize brain function. So because this has a PEA backbone, but it has other mechanisms behind it as well, when it attaches to the TAR1, TAR2 receptors, it takes a lot longer for it to be cleaved off. So this gives you like a half-life of like an hour and a half. PEAs, phenethylamines, probably a half-life of 15 minutes. So that's how quick it is. Then we have synephrine at 75 whopping milligrams. This is going to antagonize the beta receptors in fat cells, which is our fat-releasing receptors, or beta cells are the fat-releasing cells that release fat for energy. So it's going to be an antagonist to that to cause more production, which then in turn causes the body to enter a fight or flight response because of the actions. And then from there, it increases CAMP, which is going to increase protein kinase A. It's going to give you an adrenaline spike. It's going to increase the heart rate, and also has some kind of a play on norepinephrine as well in the brain. So nice ingredients, more of a fat burner and a sweater. Not any stimulant effects to it really. So it does increase an adrenaline spike, but not really anything on the central nervous system. Then we have theobromine at 50 milligrams. This is a cousin to caffeine. This increases blood flow in the brain and in certain areas of the brain, and it improves cognitive function and memory. And also it's been shown to prevent neurodegeneration. And it has a tendency to help with blood flow. So it can increase eNOS, which is endothelial NOS in the blood vessels, to relax the blood vessels or expand them, however you want to put it. And then we have heparin A at 3 milligrams. This is a acetylcholine. This blocks an enzyme. Sorry, I almost lost a train of thought. Someone was walking by. This blocks an enzyme that blocks or degrades acetylcholine in the brain. So by doing so, it's going to allow that acetylcholine hit, or the function of acetylcholine to give us cognitive function and focus, to stay a little bit longer. Also is going to help with the contractions and overall body sense as well, as far as energy wise. Then we have yohimbine HCl 2 milligrams. This is an alpha 2 receptor agonist in the fat cells. And this does a number because this causes the alpha cells they're supposed to store fat, beta cells release. So when you antagonize the beta cells and the releasing mechanism, it releases just more. But when you take a cell and you force it to do something totally opposite of what it's doing, which alpha cells actually store fat, by promoting it to release fat, you get an energy spike, you get norepinephrine, you get a bigger adrenaline hit, you get fat release, you get CAMP production, you got protein kinase A production, which stimulates all kinds of other things in the body. So you do get a hit from this. So, Madhouse, Innovations, Chaotic Rage, how did it do? So breaking this down, you're going to take the scoop, and the beta-alanine tends to come in about 10 minutes. At 3.5 grams, I thought it was going to hit like, sorry, I hit my mic. I thought it was going to hit like really, really hard, but it actually didn't. It was a kind of a medium, a little bit above medium hit that lasted for a good 30 minutes before it kind of like left. Energy and focus come in about 20 minutes. You really notice it about 30. I've seen other reviews where they talk about it slapping. This was controlled chaos for me. Every time I took it, I enjoyed this. This comes in and you feel it. So you feel the energy coming in, you feel the brain hit, you feel what you may call a euphoric feeling as far as a happy start. You start to feel good. Music starts to sound real good. You know how that goes for the stim junkies out there. Music sounds good, but it's controlled. So I love when you have a pre-workout that has like DMHA and all like the heightened senses of everything, but it doesn't control you. You can control it. And that was really nice on this pre-workout. And I think because of the fact you're running more off of the DMHA than all these other cognitive hits that you see in some of these stim junkie pre's, high doses of alpha GPC, high doses of choline sources, high doses of L-tyrosine, because we're just going off of the DMHA hit. It's very controlled chaos. So 30 minutes, everything comes in, you'll feel it, but you may feel it sooner. You're going to feel the mood, you're going to feel the energy, you're going to feel the cognitive function and focus. And about 50 minutes in is when everything drops in. And this is a very high, stim hit. Stim hit. So you're stimulated, but you're controlled. This is not like running around or anything like that, but you're knocking out set after set, or rep after rep. You're just knocking things out. You're just really tackling the workout. You have this kind of like an alpha brainwave hit, but not like a L-theanine alpha brainwave hit. This kind of dialed down, in the zone, kind of controlled chaos to where you're just everything is perfectly controlled. You can dial in, and your mind is relaxed to where it's a very kind of a nootropic hit to it. I'm talking like learning and studying nootropic hit, to where you're just really kind of calculating and dialing in to all the factors of training, the reps, the sets. You're not forgetting anything. You're not missing a beat. And when you dial in, it's not a nootropic bubble. When you choose to dial in, it takes you to a place where you're in your head. And if you stay there long enough, then you get kind of in this nootropic head hit to where you are like in your head, but nothing hazy, clear, very clear all around. Everything's really clear. What I really like about this is you could talk on this thing. You can be yourself. You do not feel sketchy. You do not feel out of place or anything like that. So very high, medium high level energy hit and nootropic hit that's going to give you an hour and a half of some sustained energy and productive energy and thought process in the gym for sure, possibly even longer, because this will last you, I'd say, good 4.5 hours totally on a full scoop. So you're going to get the energy, the cognitive function and stuff, the stimulative effect, dialing down after about 2 hours up until the 4.5 hour mark with this complete ease off. Like you're not tired, you're not cranky. It's such a smooth hitter to where it almost feels clean. The whole thing feels clean. It doesn't even feel like a DMHA hitter to me. So this is just my personal experience with this. The pumps on this thing, they're tight. So you're going to get some tight pumps, and mainly because you're hitting one set after the next set. You're not like in a time warp or anything like that, but you have that productive energy to where you're not sitting around wasting time. Like you're in there to get shit done, and you're going in and getting shit done. So very, very good. And let me see what else on this. I told you how long it would last. Told you when it came in. Told you the nootropic hit. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I went over the flavor already. Sometimes I forget that. I think I got it all. I hope the review was good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a little different some of the other guys that did the reviews on this, because this didn't slap me. Didn't slap me at 15, 20 minutes. It was just controlled chaos. Super smooth climb with some high end kind of stimulatory, clean stim hit cognitive function hit. Very, very nice. I love when I can do a pre, and even though I have the cognitive function and hit still, I can freaking be normal afterwards throughout my day. So really nice for me. I really liked it. I appreciate it. They sent this to me. They sent me their fat burner too. So I'll be running their fat burner and reviewing it as well. So Madhouse Innovations, Chaotic Rage, the review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions, any comments, leave them down below. You know I'll get back to you. Other than that, I'm going to get on with the rest of my day. You guys have a good one.